Hey YouTube, Dominique Harris here. Hopefully you guys are having a wonderful day as always. In today's video, I was going to go over my expectations over the next couple months or years in the market, doing some basic, trend analysis stuff, which I'm still going to cover, but ended up pulling up my portfolio late and I got a little bit surprised at what I saw. So we're going to go into that and that news. So if you haven't seen the last couple videos that I've been putting out, I've basically been going into different indexes and covering whether or not that specific company has the appropriate black representation within their board and their leadership. If that kind of topic interests you, make sure you go check out that video. I'll make sure I put the link into the actual description. Make sure that if you are enjoying the video so far, you go and hit that like button, and if you want to see further videos in the future, hit the subscribe button and the notification button. That helps a ton. Now, with all that boring stuff out of the way, let's get into the topics at hand. The very first thing I wanted to talk about was the overall market. So basically what you have on your screen is the actual market, and I drew some lines on there, some brackets of basically what has been happening over the last couple of years, basically since 2010, where I believe the generational bottom was in. I know we're going through some difficult times now, but I do ultimately believe that we're going to get through this. So basically getting into this video here, we're looking at the purple lines are basically where I kind of guessed where 2021 was and 2022 were. And basically what I'm trying to represent here is I think we're going to have a slow meltdown. Obviously it's not going to be a straight line, but a slow meltdown to even across 2021, and then that's going to run into a little bit into 2022. But I do believe that at some point during 2022, we're going to have some type of catalyst that will launch us back into the bull market that we have been in for a while. It was right after looking into this chart that I had just shown you guys, I had looked at my portfolio, and to my surprise, I saw that FedEx was in the stratosphere. It was up 12.14%. That's a huge move, especially when we're talking about a company like FedEx that doesn't move like this on a daily basis, at least not for anything. So I definitely had to get to the bottom of this. So the first thing that I had looked into was I almost forgot that this actually had earnings coming up, and I wasn't even really watching this. I had invested in this company for a reason, and I planned to hold it for a very long time, and I didn't think that the earnings were going to be anything special. Boy, was I wrong. So when I originally picked this stock up, it was because it was so beaten down. It was, beat down from before anything happened, craziness in the world, and then it was also beaten down once the world went crazy. When we're talking about the virus. So I was expecting this company to rebound. I just didn't expect it to rebound as fast and as crazy as it did. So as we look into the earnings, we find out that the expected earnings per share were about $1.56, which is underlined in purple. The actual earnings per share was $2.53. So we're seeing about $1 above what the street was estimating, which is an insane beat when you're talking about a company like this, which really leans to why the stock reacted the way that it reacted today. So often when a company has a big beat like this that's unexpected, you're going to have a re-rating of the stock in some way, shape, or form, especially when the stock has been as beaten down as FedEx has been. This means that we're finally turning it around. So let's look at a couple things real quick. So the metric that I found that it might get re-rated to is actually price to revenue, which is what I kind of see that UPS is kind of rated off of. So I'm going to go into that right here. So when I pull up UPS's details on, I believe I used Yahoo Finance for this. Basically what I looked at was their market cap currently was on 95.8 billion, and their total revenue for 2019 was 74.1 billion, rounding up here. If you do the math real quick, that ends up being a 1.3 essentially market cap to revenue. So now let's look at FedEx. So when we look at FedEx, we see that their total average revenue is 69.7 billion in 2019, and their market cap is only $36.6 billion. So if we're going off of this metric, obviously you can use any metric when it comes to evaluating the stock market, but when we're going off of this metric, we see that FedEx is severely undervalued compared to UPS. So the next thing I did was figure out what the actual market cap should have been. I could have did this an easier way, but for whatever reason, my mind works in ratios, and I use this formula all the time to find out tons of numbers, especially when I invest. So I could have just taken the $66.7 billion and times it by 1.3, which would have got me $86.2 billion. But instead, I used this ratio, which also gave me the same number, which is $86.2 billion. Now that we have the new market cap, we can use ratios again to find the new price target. So on the left side here, you see the 86.2, which is the new market cap that it should be rated at, and then over on the right side you see the 36.6, which is the current market cap value, and the $156.6, which turns out to be the current stock price. So what we're basically trying to find here is our price target. So if you solve this equation using ratios, for whatever reason my mind works that way and I just always do it this way, we end up with the round and even number of $368.8, which should be the new price target. So I like to be a little bit more conservative than that. So I really think that you could look at a price target anywhere between 300 to 350. I put 350 there because, that would be a selling point for me unless the news changes, and we would take profits at that point. And in all honesty, this is just very rough calculations here, and things can change all the time. So don't hold your breath over these numbers. Just know that I believe that the stock is actually going to move up over the next probably year to eventually reach this point. Obviously, if the stock ever shoots above this, we're definitely going to get out and we're going to take our profit and run. And with everything that comes with the stock market, please understand that there is risk. This isn't obviously cut and dry. There are many factors, especially in today's world, that it can bring the market down in any one stock at any time. So please don't invest solely on my research and my numbers. Do your own research and your own due diligence and come up with your own research. With that being said, make sure you do your research and find the like button and smash it so that way we could help more and more people when it comes to investing in the market. I would personally really love to hear what you guys have to say, so make sure you go down in the comments and express your opinion on my breakdown of the stock and what has happened over the last couple of days. As always, subscribe, and I love each and every one of you guys. Peace.